Anyway, well, the main reason of jumping on here is that I wanted to talk to you guys about the upcoming debt class, debt and foreclosure class. Some of the things that we're going to be discovering and doing actually in this class are things that you've probably never thought of doing before. Did you know that your lender holds a security instrument that gives them the right to enforce payments? Did you know that? It's actually a security. What does that mean when you pay it off? Well, anybody ever played the game of life? Yeah, I have. What happens when you pay off your loans in the game of life? You get the note back, don't you? Now, there's a CFR code that actually describes this process, and I have a template letter that I've generated just for that, specifically asking them for it. Now, there's different variations. If you have a mortgage note you're getting back or requesting back, that sort of, it's just going to vary. So there's some different languages and different stuff going on. All right, right on. Got a first question here. Does it give the lender the right, or does it give the lender the authority? I just lost your message. Oh, shoot, there it goes. Does it give the right or give the lender the authority where the lawyer can find out information loud and clear from Northern California? Here's what happens. And dude, I totally understand what you're saying there, but that's not exactly how, you're not looking at this the right way. What you got to do is you got to look at this. When they ask you to fill out an application, number one, that's a cashable document. That's right. Excuse me. Just say no. Anyway. So, sorry, man. Just had a little cough there. Anyway, you're not really quite looking at it from the right perspective, is what I'm trying to tell you. When you fill out an application, what you do is you make yourself completely vulnerable to that lender. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Excuse me. Look at all the privacy laws that are in place to protect your credit, to protect your private information. Why? Why would they have all these laws to protect your private information? If there wasn't something exclusive in there. And it is. These guys know exactly how to hit you, my friend. So when you're asking them, does it give them the right or gives them the lender the authority where they can find out information on you? Dude, you've given them everything in every way to do it. And when you signed that credit application, you authorized it. Past, present, and even future. Yeah. It's not a good deal. So what we need to do is not say, oh, how bad the world is. No. You need to go home and just study. And if your parents call, ask them why they didn't teach you this stuff. I did. And they gave me an answer that wasn't really acceptable. And not even equitable enough to even share on the air. I mean, honestly. And it's just that was that generation, man. But this is a new generation. We're waking up. We're seeing things that other people aren't seeing. Did you guys see that Mayor Lujan Grisham recently got chastised yesterday? Yeah, for trying to suspend the Second Amendment. I mean, you can't do that. You can't suspend the Second Amendment. Oh, and she says, we're going to put a pause on it. You know, I wonder how she'd feel if somebody put a pause on her. And you know what? We might just see that. This making a statement, and basically what she did was she said that Albuquerque is a hot spot for gun violence, she believes. And she embellished and said that they were the third highest in the country for gun violence. Which is completely false because they're not even in the top 10. Yeah, they don't even matter. Sorry, Lujan. But she wanted to do is she wanted to get her agenda across, you know? And, you know, equity is a powerful thing. This is one of the things that I teach in my class. And a lot of people don't get it. People really don't understand what equity is. They think of, well, I have equity in my house. What other equity do I need? Everything is equitable. You want some truth in that? Okay. Think about where you live. Doesn't matter. And think about the posted speed limit. 60 miles an hour, right? What happens if all the cars are stopped? Guess what you're going to do? You're going to stop too, eventually. Either you're going to stop on your own or you're going to hit somebody else and then you're going to stop. But equity is just that powerful. Well, where's the equity in that? Equity is based on how people act. So when you're looking for equity in your house, you're looking at the market on how buyers will act when they bid on your home. And this is how our market works. This is how our money system actually works. People don't get it. People still think it goes from bucket to bucket. It's unfortunate. And for those people, I call them irreparably broken, and they're going to stay where they're at. They're not going to get any better. But you know what? You have an opportunity to do it better. You really do. We all do. And who's going to benefit from that? Your beneficiaries. Yeah, your kids. That's why you go to work every day. That's why you kill yourself, right? You do it for your kiddos, right? Maybe we should take a more administrative position when we're dealing with our kiddos, when we're dealing with these sorts of things. And we need to protect ourselves. You know, there's a lot of banks out there that will do things that are just grossly inappropriate. For example, I had a bank actually come and try to take my car. They did. And you know what? They didn't have a lien on it. And in the state of Texas, it's illegal to take somebody's car unless you have a lien on it or unless you have a court order. They had neither. So this makes them liable for charges. These are things I'm going to cover in my class. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to get paid. That's right. So these processes that we do, we have to step up our game in our life. You know, that part of your life when you're sitting at your desk and you're doing your work. We got to put a better hat like that on for our beneficiaries, so we don't have stupid excuses like my parents did. Yeah, when I said, "Why didn't you teach me this stuff? Why didn't you save a bunch of silver back in before 65? You guys were born way before that. Y'all knew that they were giving you worthless crap money that had no monetary value at all. They're just Chuck E. Cheese tokens now, and you accepted it. For us, not okay. Not okay at all. So I teach this debt, equity, and foreclosure class because it benefits the public. A lot of times, we end up in a situation where, a bank or a situation regarding a bank may tie up your whole loan process. It may mess up your whole bank account for like months. What if it's not your fault? How many people just endure these things, on the daily? Oh, well. And then they'll come and tell you, oh, and it messed up my bank account for like 4 months. And they'll tell you how bad it is. And they'll be like, who do you bank with? Oh, Wells Fargo. Yeah, still do. We got to do a better job contracting. We have to realize that foreclosure is a two-way street. You can foreclose on your lenders just as quick as they can too. If you feel at some point in time that they're not willing to service the loan and you call them out on it properly, then you have an estoppel. Then you have a reason to do something. I'm going to show you how to do that in my class. This is something our parents didn't teach us how to do. And with with everything changing the way it is, and we have a lot of things changing, but the way things are changing in our world, money, that's going to change. Yeah. That's also going to invalidate every contract. Why? Because we've been paying with FRNs. Actually, we haven't been paying at all. We've been just setting off these debts. And if they close all this down, we're going to have to start paying off all these debts. Uh-oh. Yeah. Where are you at in all that? Where are you standing in all that? That's what you have to ask yourself. The people that are caught up in the fires and all the stuff that's going on around the world, literally, the world is on fire right now. And the people that are caught up in all that, yeah, they're having a tough time. How do we go forward from that? How do we do it better? Educate. We learn. A lot of people ask me, do we have captors? Yeah, we do. And they trick us. They make us, I had a guy, as a matter of fact, I had a guy at the, and companies do this all the time too. So I had a guy at, let me see if my little dude was coming. There you go. I had a guy at the gas station. I was coming back from Tyler, and had a guy from the gas station walk up to me and hand me these what are those iPhone earbud things? They're like $200. All right, sorry about that. I had to step out for just a second. I guess I don't know, something paused for something. But anyway, the reason that we teach these classes is that we want people to be ready. I want you to know what's going on. Otherwise, these people are going to try to steal from you. Like I was saying, there was a guy at the gas station, and he showed up with these Apple AirPods, whatever they're called, the headphones. I don't know. I have the Ray-Ban glasses. They're better and easier to pronounce. But anyway, he shows up, and I'm actually letting my dogs out so they go to the bathroom because you're heading back. And he's like, "Hey, can you bring your card and come over here and help me out with a little bit of gas?" You know, he said he was down on his luck, and he goes, "I have these AirPods," and I was like, "Oh, you know, bro, you don't have to give me that." And I had like $60 and some ones. I gave him all that. I said, "Here, man, you're good, dude. Just go ahead and put some gas in your car." Oh, could you come into swipe? You could swipe your card just one time. No, I'm not swiping my card for you, bro. I gave you the $60. Have a good day. Oh, and here, you can have these back. He was like, no, you can have them. See, he was trying to bait and switch me. And he had a card reader that was over there on that gas pump. And he was wanting me to go over there and swipe my card and help him. And this guy's been doing this all over the place because who do you think paid for those AirPods? Not him. I'm not stupid. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm going to tell you, the world will offer you the same kind of deal. They'll offer you something that looks good on the front. Everything looks great on the outside. But there's a catch-22. And this is why we have to learn how to contract. Otherwise, we're going to be victims of our own demise. Our children, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. Because as this generation is getting slower, and they are, the ones that are controlling them are still going just as fast, if not faster. We've got to change that. You know, I've been walking with Yahweh for a lot of years. And by the way, the question line is still open. If you guys have questions, let's do it, man. Let's talk. Let's talk about debt. You guys want to talk about cleaning up your credit? Do you know that using equity, you can clean your credit? Remember I was talking about that scenario with all the cars that stopped? And if you were to go 60 miles an hour, you wouldn't? How would you like to be on the controlling end of that? Where even though they want to go 60 miles an hour, they can't. And you can stop them. How would you like to be in that place? How would you like to be in that position? You can be. You don't have to be a victim. You know, one of the things that really, I guess, really got me going, or to learn all this, and I figured, wow, this stuff actually works, is when I started seeing people struggle, and they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize what happened because they were too busy looking at that flickery new car with that big new upgraded 9.6 inch screen in it versus last year's model. And we were so distracted with those things that we're missing the real nuggets. Just like the guy at the gas pump trying to distract me and have value for these AirPods. And for a greedy man, that was a trap for a greedy man. But for me, hey man, I'm just happy to help you. I don't care about any of that. And I have, as a matter of fact, I have a flashlight over there. Very funny thing, a very true story about that. We were traveling, and by the way, we did all this travel stuff. All these guys that are talking about how to travel with the private plates and all that stupid stuff. Look, man, I've already done all that too. But while we were out traveling, you should check out my page. You'll see. But while we were out traveling, I had a guy come to me, and he was trying to sell me his spare tire, bless his heart, because he just didn't have enough money. And I said, dude, I got you, man. Here you go, man. Go put some gas in your car. I don't remember what I gave him, but it was substantial. It was enough. And he said, He goes, you could take the spare. And I was like, no, 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 I don't want your spare, man. It's okay. He handed me this flashlight 9 years ago. And you know what? That flashlight still works today. It sat in storage for over 4 years. Click, click, and it turned right back on again. So my point in that is that the purity in the things that we do will give you something that will always, always return and always be there for you. I don't think anything will ever kill this flashlight. I really don't. And it's because I did something nice for somebody and Yahweh just blessed me. That's a good place to be. One of the things I'm also going to talk about in this up and coming class is I'm going to be talking about foreclosing on your lenders and taking real property. What happens if, there's a lot of people talking about, how bank loans are fraudulent and this and that. Well, okay, great. What do you do now? Well, if it's legitimate, you can take your property back. If it's legitimate, you can foreclose on that lender. Because guess what happens when they think something is illegitimate about you? They can foreclose on you. Did you know, this is what's dangerous about these people that are out sending these payments out or sending all this paperwork out. I had a guy, as a matter of fact, that I spoke with yesterday about this. And he sent out one of these internet letters to his bank. And his bank interpreted that letter as being a refusal to pay. And if they can interpret, or if they can do anything, if you do anything that makes them feel like you're refusing to pay this debt, they can come and take your stuff, like right now. And that's exactly the situation that happened. Why? Because he wasn't prepared for battle. He was prepared to start, but he really wasn't prepared for battle, and he wasn't prepared to really commit to it. And that's what really hurt that guy. And hopefully we can help him. But not every ship can be saved. It just can't. So I encourage you guys, join us on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Check out my webpage too, houseofyahcommunityoutreach.com. Check out the classes we got going on. They're not going to be up for too much longer. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm about ready to get up out of this game and do some other things on my own. It's just getting cumbersome. And the market is just getting saturated with so many ding-dongs out there and just new ones. I'm ready to back out of this whole thing, watch them all go to jail, and then I'll see you guys in a few years when everybody's not in jail, for tax evasion and all these other silly things going on. But if you want to learn how to do this thing right, don't follow a man. Don't follow me. Follow the successes of a man. If he has no successes, don't tell him what time it is. Be blessed, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Shelby.